Ladies and gentlemen, when it comes down to black politicians, I try to tread lightly, because we know what they are. You got to be somewhat of a raccoon in order to even be in office, and we know this. So I'm going to tread lightly on this story. So this is Congressman Jamaal Bowman, and he put Joe Biden on blast for inaction on reparations. And he's been very critical of Joe Biden recently, and he claims that he's losing considerable support among black voters because he has not taken any meaningful action on reparations for slavery. Well, there's a reason for that. Joe Biden has a long history of being a racist. I mean, there are videos of him saying the N word right there in the Senate. So we know what Joe Biden is. Don't nobody change that much, y'all. He didn't change that much. You can't believe that. I know some of our people, because I heard during the 2020 election saying, well, he's different now. No, he's not. This man can never be different. He can never be different, especially at 81. Get real. So, the New York Democrat, a member of the bloc of 8 progressive Democrats called the Squad, made the remarks last week on MSNBC. So, people of color, see, that's where he lost me, have been turned off for a while because of a lack of comprehensive immigration reform. If you're talking about the Latino community and no conversation at all about reparations, if you're talking about the black community, well, they don't want to talk about us. In fact, you don't see any politicians talking about us in the media at all. It's amazing. If you want reparations, they can't give you a reparations. They can't get crime bills passed. They couldn't get the George Floyd bill passed. They can't do this and they can't do that when it comes down to us. But I bet if it's some bill for crime to put us in jail, they'll all unanimously vote on that. That's why I'm telling y'all, this all of politics in America is rooted in racism, and it's still being carried out. The administration, it doesn't matter whether it's Republican or Democrats, when it comes down to racism, that's how they function. The whole place is functioned on racism. So let's go on. He goes on to say, we're spending billions of dollars every year on weapons and war, but we can't even have a conversation about reparations. Those are the things that are happening right now, he said. Now, he said he has called out the administration substantial military spending while suggesting that the White House was avoiding the serious dialogue on compensating generations of Black Americans and providing restitution to populations that have suffered historical injustices and still do to this very day. So, reparations have remained a controversial issue among lawmakers who struggle for decades to find a comprehensive solution following the end of slavery. No, y'all haven't. Y'all have done, if anything, you have done everything to avoid it. Talking about you've been finding ways. You ain't find ways to do crap, and you know it. So the debate comes as Biden trails Donald Trump in the polls. And we talked about that in another video, how he is struggling in battleground states. That Joe Biden actually won in 2020, but if you look at the polls, he would definitely not win those states again this time around. So he criticizes Joe Biden on his foreign policies, as the US is always financing a war, but they can't do anything for reparations. After nearly 3 years, many Democratic voters were turning sour on Biden's policies. with the president lead slipping with voters under the age of 30 among Hispanic voters, while in a recent New York Times Siena College poll found 22% of registered black voters said they plan to support the Republican nominee in the next election. The 2022 midterm election highlighted troubles on the horizon for Democrats as turnout among Black voters was identified as one of the party's most notable weaknesses going into 2024. Black voters have, in recent years, witnessed a shift, especially among young Black men who are increasingly placing trust in the GOP to address concerns related to the ability to build generational wealth, while a growing number of Black Americans harbor a growing sense of disappointment with the party, which had fallen short of addressing persistent problems affecting the Black community. Exactly. They have done absolutely nothing. They have pushed bills for everybody and seem to get those bills as long as it's for, anybody that's non-melanated or another group, they seem to get everything done. But when it comes down to us, they can't, they didn't have the votes. They can't do this. They can't do that. You can't ask for you can't ask for reparations. You can't do this. Nobody's going to pass that. Oh, well, let's take a poll. Oh, most of America don't want reparations. I mean, that's what they do to us. I don't recall y'all doing a poll for the Asian crime bill and coming back saying most of Americans feel that the Asians should not have a crime. Y'all didn't do that. Y'all didn't do that. But all of a sudden, public polls got to be done. So, anyway, just admit you're a racist and get it over with. So, ladies and gentlemen, oftentimes we're the extra whatever percent that will take that particular candidate over the top to win. The New York Times, in a recent interview, highlighted that the role of Black women for Democratic candidates. So they are the ones that'll drive a candidate into office whenever they are neck and neck with another candidate. That's what they're saying. So in June, the White House press secretary sidestepped a direct response about reparations the day after the White House hosted a celebration for Juneteenth, which was declared a federal holiday under Biden in 2021 to commemorate the Emancipation Proclamation of the last slaves following the end of the Civil War. Yeah, but everybody gets that day off. That's just not the Black community. Everybody in the country gets that day off if they're working. So that's not giving us something. Please. Bush's legislation called on a federal government to provide reparations to descendants of enslaved Black people and Black people of African descent, and to formally apologize for the state sanctioned institution of chattel slavery and subsequent anti Black institution laws and practices. Yeah, but Bush did not get us reparations either. I know why y'all throwing that in to try to make it seem like, see, we brought it up. We brought that up. See, bringing it up and getting it passed are two different things. Bringing it up is just a fistful of nothing. That's what that is. A fistful of nothing. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's where it stands. Yeah, yeah, I do agree with him that Biden and his administration have not spent any time on reparations. They tried to push that HR 40 crap up in our face. We knew HR 40 was a pile of junk when we first heard it, you know? And we don't see them taking times to form committees when legislation has to be pushed for other people. They just get it done. That's why this whole reparation thing is all about race. It's all about race. That's why it's not getting done. If it was any other group of people coming to them about reparations, they would have gotten it done by now. They would have done something. And you wouldn't hear about all these polls and and them polling the American people on it. They don't do that to anybody but us. We're the only group they do that to. So y'all tell me what you think about Jamaal Bowman blasting Joe Biden for not taking any actions on reparations, but pouring a bottomless pit of money on wars. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.